Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Payne 1. And about a year ago, I uploaded a video summarizing the producer's rights to music they have created, both with and without formally registering a copyright through the U.S. Copyright Office. Now, in the video, I made two important points. Firstly, that I'm not a lawyer or a federal employee, so you should do your own research and consult qualified individuals if you have questions. And secondly, that if you wanted more information, you should follow some of the links that I provided, and I did provide links. One of those links was copyright.gov, which is the website that you use to submit and copyright material. You know, I'm sure many people did visit the website, and I'm sure many of them did consult qualified professionals if they had questions, but a whole lot of people didn't. And what they did instead was just post a bunch of comments asking additional questions about all these different copyright scenarios. But one question kept coming up, and that question was, can a producer copyright a beat that contains one or more samples? Uncleared samples, of course. And I have a video about sample clearance if you want to check that one out, but you know, sample clearance is really expensive, so we producers aren't out there spending $20,000 every single day to clear samples in beats that we create. So obviously I knew that you could copyright a beat that contained a sample. And think about it, with all of the litigation and legislation and frustration that went down in the 80s and 90s with sampling, of course copyright law would have to account for it. It's an extremely common practice in the world of music, and not just hip-hop, all types of music. So I figured I'd search the internet and find some really nice, concise explanation of how that works. Guess what? I didn't find one. So here it is, the explanation of how to copyright a beat that contains a sample. And this is straight off of copyright.gov. Yes, you may copyright a beat that contains a sample, but you need to fill out the material excluded form, and they explain this form is used if what you're copywriting includes any pre-existing material, such as previously registered material, previously published material, material in the public domain, and material not owned by the claimant, which is you. And that applies to filmmakers, authors, whomever. So I'm going to put this in plain English for the producers watching this video. So use the online ECO copyright registration form. You can upload it. It's easier than mailing CDs into the Copyright Office. And then in the Materials Excluded section, specify that you're excluding from the copyright lyrics and music. And then in the other section, specify that the beat that you've uploaded contains a sample from whatever artist that is. And I would include the name of the song that you sampled, and even the album that it was featured on, and the date the album was published, because it's always good to have more information on record if you have some type of case of copyright infringement later on. So there's the information. Pretty simple. You know, I think the moral of the story in all of this is, believe me when I say that I'm not qualified to answer most of your questions, number one, and number two, click on the links when I tell you to click on the links. I guess another important takeaway is that you can in fact copyright a beat that is sample based. Now, in the About section of this video below, I included two links. One is to the U.S. Copyright Office, the only place to register a copyright in the United States, and the other link is to an excerpt from a book entitled But Where Do I Sign? A Guide to Understanding the Music Industry and Its Contracts, Copyrights, and Licenses, Volume 1. And in that excerpt, this process is re-explained. So if you have more questions, or you want to see it in writing, check those two links out and your information will be there. Hope this helps. Much success to you all. Peace.